So today we will learn about object-oriented programming, or called OOPS, in JavaScript. So object-oriented programming is nothing special to JavaScript, but it is a way programming is done in general. And JavaScript has incorporated this OOPS concept so that it helps the developers from other languages like Java and C Sharp to transition to this language. Okay, there are four concepts in OOPS: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. What is encapsulation? When we group methods and property of an object together, it's called encapsulation. Abstraction: hiding some of the properties to the outside of the object. Like, we do not want certain part of the properties to be accessible outside the object, we use abstraction. Inheritance: we are used, instead of creating the same methods and property again and again, we'll just take that object and use it. Polymorphism is something like, we, instead of writing long code, we are able to change the form of the object and use it again. I'll give it an example. I'll give a demo to explain much better what these are actually and how they are done. So this is a demo of how OOPS is incorporated in JavaScript. Well, the concepts of OOPS, I'll start with encapsulation. The concepts of encapsulation we are using it for a very long time if you have done any coding in JavaScript. But the thing is, we never realize that we are using these concepts. So I'll just start with encapsulation. What happened is, suppose I have a variable called name. I am adding it to global object. The name is John. Okay, and there is a function. I'll name the function as introduce. Okay, and this function will log the message hi. Not me. And now let's run this function. Okay. Let's see this here. Hi John. Okay. There is one problem in this question, in this type of coding, is, suppose I want to reuse this, okay, and I want to change the name. I want to reuse it and reuse it, okay. And second thing is, these two are both connected with each other. Like, this introduce depends on name. So the better coding concept will be, we will create an object. Okay. I'll create an object called person, which is this. Okay. It has a name. Name will be John. And a function called introduce. Call this, okay. So the basic advantage is, since name and introduce function are connected with each other, they are together. Okay. Now I'll just call this person dot introduce. Hi John. Okay. This is what encapsulation is. Encapsulation is putting your method and property together in a same object. Now let's check the concept of inheritance. Okay. Inheritance, what I'll show you, like the coding which we are using in, like this person object, there is a problem in that. Suppose I want to create two person. So see, person 1 whose name is John, and there is another person, Control C, another person 2 name Jane. Okay, so first I am repeating this method again, introduce method, which is not a good practice. Now suppose what happened, my requirement changes, and instead of hi I have to print hello. Okay, so now again number, whatever the objects I have created, in all the object introduce function I have to change it to hello. This will create our chances to increase the number of bugs. So to avoid this, we can do inheritance. We can use the concept of inheritance. Okay, now inheritance can be done in two ways. First I'll show you with the factory way. Factory function, factory reconstruction. Function, and the another one is the constructor function. In factory reconstruction, function is nothing but I'll just create a function called person, and it will take a parameter called name, and it will return this object. Just copy this one. Okay, something I did wrong. Okay, this is done, and instead of this, where it is, instead of hard coding the name John, I can add name, or there is a property in JavaScript ECMA 6 is that if the key name and the key value is same, then you don't have to use this colon. You can just write this and it should work. Okay, I'm getting some error. What is the error? Return is there. Okay, I am missing one. Okay, we can call this person method, and I can write the name Mark. Okay, and I have to pass, and I have to call this function also for console. Hi Mark. Okay, now this is the factory reconstruction function. We can also do this inheritance. with constructor. I know what you are thinking. If you are from some other coding language, you must be thinking you're not using class, you are not using constructor method. This is possible in JavaScript. You can use class and use constructor. Suppose I can create a class with a name person, and in that object I can use a constructor, okay, which will have a name, and then I can put this name to this dot name, okay, and then I can equal to name, and then I can create a function called introduce function. I'll just copy this one. Okay, I'm getting an error. The type of unexpected token, okay. I can put it like this and create a constant called new person, which will be equal to person, which will take a name of Bill, and I'll just new, oh god, what did I do? New person dot introduce. I can do that. Let's check whether it's working or not. Okay, identify person has already been declared. Okay, here, okay. I'll change the name to okay. Constructor cannot invoke without new. Oh, sorry. For class you need to use new. Sorry, for constructor if you're using, you have to use. You can see hi Bill. Okay. Now suppose if I want, this is how we can do using a class, but I want to show it using a function. Okay, how we can do it using a function. You can just declare a function with the capital name person font, because it's a basic practice we should follow. This will have a name, and you will use this dot name equal to name. Now what we are doing, we are creating a variable name inside this function, because this will point to this function, and we are substituting the value of that name. Okay, and then what we will do, my apologies, this dot introduction, I can use this function. Okay, this function, and this should run. Okay, now I have to call this. Oh, I'll use a constant called should not use this like this, new person, and you should call new, and then you can use and then con. Okay, and you can give the name Bill. I need to again call this introduce, then okay, the name is introduction. Hi Bill. Okay, this is how we use constructor. Basically constructor, if it is using the keyword this and new, then it's a constructor way of inheritance. Let's see abstraction. Okay, so basically what is abstraction? There are certain parts of the code which we don't want, which we don't want to be accessible outside of the object. Now if I take this, suppose I'll copy this, so for this introduction and name both are accessible outside of the method. Now if suppose I want to give an age which is 18, okay, function hi print this name comma dot age. So you can see the age. The problem is I should have copy pasted this one, but no worries. Now if I'll just copy paste this one, control C. Now suppose this is, I can access this age, control or age, see it's accessible here. Okay, I'll change the name new person to, okay, 18. Now this 18 should not change, so if, and this makes it little dangerous also, suppose I can change the value 18 to 52. See, you can change the value to 52, which is wrong, because this 18 the developer has assigned the value. The user should not be able to change this value. So to avoid this, we use the concept of abstraction. How we can achieve in this? Simple. New. See, you are getting undefined. It is not accessible outside of this. This is not accessible outside of the function or the method, sorry, of the function new person con. That's why you are getting this undefined. Initially what was happening was, now when I do this, it's create a variable, it creates a hosting, okay, it's used the property of hosting, and it has created a variable with a memory space new person has age, new person dot age equal to 52. I'll do that, control C and I control V. Okay, now the age we will see, and then again we will call this method. to check whether this age is being changed or not. Let's see. So here when I say new person dot age is a different thing. This is not this age, but it is some variable which hosted due to hosting was created, and in that value 52 is assigned. And when we print new person age, this is 52, but the age which we are using is local to that function and cannot be used, cannot be accessed outside. That is why when we call introduction function, the age is not being updated. That is what abstraction is. Okay. Then polymorphism. So for this I'll create a class because you can understand this better with a class. Okay. I'll create a person. Only person name she should. Okay. And in constructor it will have a name. Okay. And I'll add this Control C. This is there. This is your constructor. This is polyperson. Now what I'll do, I'll create another class called address. Okay. And I'll use the keyword called extends, which will extend this polyperson. Okay. And then I'll use this super method. When I use this super, basically it's telling address to go to your parent class, which is polyperson, and in constructor whatever is there, have it. Now I'll just try to run this dot introduction and see what happens. Sorry, I need to use super. One second, I'm doing something wrong, which is so I'll just extend this polyperson. This is extended the parent class, and I'll just call the introduction method. I have not introduced anything, done anything. Or you know what, I just won't write this. This is an address class which extends this parent class, and I'll create a new address. I don't think I should have to create this also, and then new add dot. Introduction. Let's see what happens. High undefined. Okay, so I have to add this here to give the name. I'll give the name Arya. Okay, see, hi Arya. So basically it is able to able to get all this information from its parent class. Suppose I'll create a new method altogether. I'll create a method called address, right? And in this, what I'll do, Arya Winterfell. You can access this name Arya. Arya was given here in new address. In polyperson it will go. Name we have not declared anything. That's how we use polymorphism. Okay, now I'll give you one more thing. Okay, I'll just remove this. I'll just tweak this little bit. Okay. Control X. Let's see if this works. Oh, we got an error. Address.introduction. Age is not defined. Okay. Because age we have removed. Let's see. It works. Okay. Now suppose I'll change this. I'll add one more method here. Control Z. And this name will be same. Let's create two introduction method in and Arya Winterfell. Okay, now the method has both the method has same name. Let's check which address. Sorry, we don't have an address now. Which introduction method will it call? It's calling hi Arya. Okay. One second, why it is calling Arya? Add two methods, one both in parent and a child, and both have the same name. Then if we try this, when we called introduction, it will be called the child one. So introduction can be used with different concept. This is called polymorphism.